For many years now, it's been hate between neighbor countries all around the world, who didn't listen to one great messenger called Jesus, who was very close to God, who said, love your neighbor, like begin there and then spread it out. You have not done this as its own long and complicated history you have, but let us lay it out there which is not being said, instead of that which is already being said by others. The need of understanding by the Israeli people and others for the grudge and hate, and even that hate which kills, which has come to the Palestinian people after many years of suffering. If you don't want to understand, should you call yourself a godly man of the Jewish people? So you need to come to your soul and godly perspective, as is your brothers and sisters, your government and military have forced to a small piece of land. Why? Because you can. But with strong power, it comes with great responsibility. What happens with them with great power who don't take responsibility? It's just looking at the history. They fall. Because God gives us free will, but there will come a time to an end, and it's just a matter of time when God will act profoundly on the act of righteousness. What you want and what your neighbor Palestina want is two different things. If you want to be a godly man, a man of God, you hear the whisper of God saying, learn the teaching I have laid there behind the appearances. Learn that you are different, but see the good qualities in each other. And you will find that bridge, that communication between which is needed to exist. Yes, it's two different cultures. One is more fiery, sometimes uncontrolled fire. And that is a teaching for the Arabic people. And for the Israeli people, the teaching is that being civilized is not always morally and better than the other.
Welcome to White Lotus Movement. Immerse yourself in our one-year esoteric and authentic Enneagram course. Explore profound depths and esoteric wisdom to discover your true self in God. Learn exclusive tools for overcoming life's challenges, including those in your intimate relationships. Alchemize ego poison and embark on a transformative journey with us. Visit our website www.whitelotusmovement.com and start your journey today. The White Lotus Movement, the path to self-discovery and spiritual awakening.
They have another teaching. And what is that? What is the teaching of the Jewish people always needed to learn of karmic reasons? Is to love them who think and act differently, who doesn't think or follow the dogmatic rules or the norms. God even sent his messenger to the Jewish people again and again to help and assist them in hard times in history. Moses was sent, Abraham was sent, Jesus was sent, and many more. But was it for you was special? The special people, the chosen ones? Or were you the people who needed the most help at that time? So how do you repay God for that? By doing your actions you're doing now? Have you even recognized what God have done time after time for you, the Jewish people? It's time to learn and repay. You have a debt to God to pay, and the time is now. To show God in the end of time, of this time lineage, to show Him. Have you learned anything? Or are you making your country which are doomed to fail? If you continuing, what consequences will you have? What seed have you laid in the earth way before? And now you get your fruits, which you call terrorist attack on the people from Palestine or Hamas. Or the fruits you will take in the soon future. It's time the government of Israel to grow up and stop playing with the elites of the world and being run by a man of God and of the people. If the government of Israel, as the leader of Hamas, not listen to this warning, warning of God's wrath on both parties. Then you will see what consequences you will have on earth. But don't believe for a second God will give you heaven after death when you have war, death and suffering in your inside universe. Then you will create this for yourself in the afterlife, till you get a chance to learn again and again in another life somewhere else. And more suffering, of course. So take the chance, and a chance of peace, love between people and religions. Because you will never touch the truth or love of God if you don't understand the fundamental truth that we all are one. And we all, through our differences, mirror a divine and godly existence of God and all His aspects, as many traditions talk about. For example, 99 names of God in the Quran, or different aspects of God in various esoteric forms of yoga, or even Christians talk about these different aspects. Because you need to undogma yourself, if we can call it like that, and open yourself more and learn from others. And still being in your religion, and even make it better, and it will open the portals of God's bliss, grace, love and truth and wisdom, and all aspects of God your individual soul connects to the most. But first, begin to create space more and more for yourself in your environment, in quietness. And after your prayer, stand or sit still. Feel the void is there. And feel all the life within it and in yourself. And go deeper and deeper in that. And try also being attentive and listen to God. Because what many do is to pray, but you never listen. For God is it weird that many of His sons and daughters only want to talk to Him, but never want to listen to Him. By the inner ears, not the outer. Or the inner seeing, not the outer. But also when God tries to speak by life around yourself. It's time to listen and connect to God, Allah, Elohim, whatever name or aspect you put on God. But in this time, it's never being more important, because this is the end of time. Because God has a plan for evolution for humanity, where it's not time as we experience it now. For the godly realities is here and waits for humanity. But the school is here right now, how you live and how you die. The words today may be hard, but through your hard work to connect to God deeply as you were one, then all your bad deeds in time and beyond will vanish. And then you will be welcome to the real paradise or heaven you talk about. Even if it's so much more different in the heavens as you think about it in your religions. But everyone will get what they are worth without injustice. Because I will tell you, there are no injustice, only grace. But this can only, of course, not be seen in the situation of deep suffering. But when you will come out of that suffering, or even being killed, you will even see then that it all was a grace for you. Learn, develop, have more insights. Time for God, not time for killing. Let others do the killing and let they make hell on earth and within and even after the life. But let your heart and mind being pure, empty and full at the same time, just as God. For God is creating a sea and tsunami of chaos on earth. For the wrath of God is here to stay till you learn or not learn. It's being perceived by many that this is hell on earth. But the wrath of God is to help humanity forward before it's too late. It's time for us all to recognize that and evolve together. Being racist is not helping. Saying nothing is not helping. Communication between cultures and religion is important, with a fundamental basis that we are one, trying to reach our highest potential of a human, like a tree wanting to reach heaven with deep roots in earth. It's time, and it's time, it's time. Now. All history has talking about the end of time. And it's now, in this time. But you choose, as always, your destiny and your journey, your choice to see and hear and think, perceive, even feel about the things which can be holy, or for someone garbage. You choose. One for all and all for the one.